Call when you can, text when you can't. Some things to consider. Have your medications ready. If you are in need of electricity for medical purposes, take the proper precautions, such as going to shelters or using a generator along with a carbon monoxide detector. Do not use generators indoors or in spaces that are not ventilated. All too often we have tragic stories resulting from the improper use of generators. This can be prevented. Following the storm, we will continue to assist with recovery and rescue efforts. We will conduct well-being checks for those with special needs in the at-risk community. Damage may still exist from floods and electrically charged water. Please report and stay away from any downed power lines. If your power goes out, try to use battery-operated devices. Stay away from using candles. This is a multi-agency collaboration, and we will be working with our partners, including OUC, police, public works, and other agencies for potential and downed power lines and for clearing roadways. Again, call 911 and be prepared. Stay safe. Thank you. Police Chief.
Good afternoon. The Orlando Police Department will be fully staffed and will respond to all emergency situations. Our officers will remain on duty throughout the storm and will be prepared to make arrests or render aid if necessary. The 911 Center will be fully operational 24/7 for emergencies. Please use 911 for emergencies only, not for information. If traffic lights are out, please treat intersections as a four-way stop. Look out for your neighbors. We're all in this together. Check in on them. Thank you to the men and women of the Orlando Police Department who will be working before, during, and after the storm. Please be safe. Thank you.
Thank you. OUC continues to prepare for Hurricane Ian's potential impacts to our service area. And water infrastructure, improving our outage management system, and training our staff. We had the foresight to pre-order supplies such as wooden poles, pole-mounted transformers, cable, overhead wire last fall when supply chain issues started, and so we are prepared for the storm. We've secured additional crews coming in from out of town to help us, including linemen, tree trimmers, and safety assessors. We're looking to secure additional line techs to help us post-storm to help with restoration efforts. These additional crew members will work alongside our OUC employees to restore power lines, fix any customer issues, and in the event of outages, ensure that restoration of power is done as quickly and safely as possible. If additional crews are required, we will go and obtain those resources from those neighboring cities that perhaps didn't have such an impact, such a great impact from Hurricane Ian. We are ready to restore power as quickly and safely as possible. We do ask that you please update your contact information in myouc.com. Register for outage alerts by texting REG 69682 to receive alerts in English or in Spanish. Restoration information is truly at your fingertips. Also, regarding our water plants, they will be staffed 24/7 during Hurricane Ian. All have emergency power if they should have an outage, including portable generators that are available for our wells that are not located at the water plant. Crews will be staged throughout our service territory in the event of a water main break. Finally, please visit ouc.com/storm center to get information before, during, and after the storm. Thank you.
Good afternoon. So at the Greater Orlando Aviation Authority, and especially at Orlando International Airport, operations are still active today, but the final commercial flight at MCO will depart tomorrow morning at 10:30 a.m. The airport, though, will not close. It will only cease commercial operations. This is an important distinction that allows the airport to accept emergency aid and relief flights if necessary. We have coordinated this with our airline partners, and they are with us, and the safety that is a priority. Schedules and opportunity for the project will continue, and we'll continue to monitor the storm. As all of you know, individual airlines set their schedules. So resuming operations will depend on weather conditions, damage assessment, obviously cleanup and recovery. Please check with your airline and rental car company for updates and schedules. It may take up to 3 days to return to normal service levels. Just a reminder, Orlando International Airport is not a shelter. We are not authorized as a shelter. Anyone arriving at the airport after operations have ceased will be taken to an approved shelter. Thank you.
Buenas tardes. El alcalde de la ciudad de Orlando ha declarado un estado de emergencia para la ciudad de Orlando para continuar nuestro esfuerzo de preparación. El Centro de Operaciones de Emergencia va a activar para monitorear los eventos y el desarrollo de la tormenta Ian. Los servicios no esenciales y la alcaldía de la ciudad de Orlando va a estar cerrada para el día de miércoles a mediodía hasta el viernes. El recogido de desperdicio sólido van a continuar hoy, pero van a ser suspendidos para el miércoles hasta el viernes. Y entonces vamos a comenzar de nuevo el recogido el sábado. Los parques recreativos de la ciudad de Orlando, incluyendo las piscinas, van a cerrar a mediodía el miércoles y van a mantenerse cerrados hasta el viernes. Los garajes de la ciudad de Orlando, los estacionamientos de la ciudad de Orlando, empezando a las 2 de la tarde el miércoles, no van a cobrar cobro para los servicios de los estacionamientos. El estacionamiento de la calle Centro, de la Jefferson, el Centro de Administración de Condado y de la biblioteca va a estar cerrado el miércoles a las 2 y vamos a comenzar operaciones para el viernes a las 8 de la noche, donde los carros que están ahí estacionados van a tener que salir. Y entonces, para nosotros, queremos recalcar que tenemos el número 407-246-4357 para mantenerse informado. Esa es la línea de información de la ciudad de Orlando. Y también tenemos la página cibernética que es orlando.gov/Ian, donde usted puede mantenerse informado de todo el desarrollo de esta tormenta que va a ser sumamente fuerte para nosotros. Queremos recalcar la importancia de estar listo, de tomar acción para esta tormenta. Es una tormenta que va a ser prolongada sobre la área de Orlando y por lo tanto vamos a tener mucho viento, mucha lluvia y vamos a tener potencial para un impacto mayor, que tenemos que estar preparados y listos. Gracias. En cuanto a los parques recreativos, quiero indicarles que entendemos que familia tiene que hacer preparaciones a último minuto. Miércoles solamente los niños que están suscritos al programa de After School Program de la ciudad de Orlando pueden ir a los centros recreativos desde las 6:30 de la mañana hasta el mediodía. Repito, los niños que participan del programa de After School Program con la ciudad de Orlando pueden continuar yendo a los centros recreativos desde las 6 de la mañana hasta el mediodía el miércoles solamente. Con todo eso, gracias.
I'm pleased to welcome Congressman Soto.
We just received our most recent FEMA update this afternoon, and FEMA Administrator Diane Criswell will give an additional update at 3 p.m. today. We appreciate President Biden approving the major disaster declaration for Florida and also Governor Ron DeSantis. There are 4,000 Florida National Guard members that are supporting the response, 3,500 reservist personnel available to deploy for support. 7,500 surge capacity force members are rostered to deploy if needed. At Maxwell Air Force Base in Florida, we have 3.5 million liters of water and 3.6 million meals. An additional 3.5 million liters of water, 3.7 million meals, and 6,380 cots are staged in Alabama. FEMA also pre-staged 117 generators and 128,000 gallons of fuel. FEMA has activated a medical support contract for 52 ambulances and 100 paratransit seats. These are resources staged here in Orange County, and additional ambulances and medical care transport have been ordered. One incident management team is deployed to Atlanta, and 2 others are in the State Emergency Operations Center in Tallahassee. We also have a mobile emergency response support team in Tallahassee to help support and coordinate with our state government. There are 3 mobile communications operations vehicles that are en route to Maxwell Air Force Base, and 2 mobile emergency operations vehicles are in Florida. All requested urban search and rescue resources have arrived at their staging areas, and 2 task force and incident support teams are in Miami, and another task force is in Montgomery, Alabama. We also have our U.S. Army Corps of Engineers power restoration team deployed to Craig Field in Alabama ahead of the storm. And lastly, the U.S. Department of Health and Human Services activated the National Disaster Medical System and deployed an incidental management team, personnel to both Florida and Georgia. 2 health and medical task forces are staging in Atlanta. Passing on a critical message for families here in Central Florida from FEMA. Please download the FEMA app ahead of time. We saw as power goes out that cell phones are a great way to continue to both get updates and apply for FEMA relief should we see extended power outages. We saw over 200,000 people in Hurricane Fiona already use it. This will be critical for Hurricane Ian. We also want to encourage folks to have an emergency supply kit to check with neighbors and prepare for power outages. Brevemente en español, gracias a Presidente Biden para declarar una declaración de desastre mayor y por Gobernador DeSantis también. Nosotros tenemos muchos recursos con la militaria y recursos de agua y comida y otras cosas para ayudar a nuestras familias. La prioridad número 1 es seguridad por ustedes y su familia. Si usted necesita más información, usted puede visitar el sitio de listo.com. Este es listo.com y yo creo todo necesita para tener el FEMA aplicación por su celular. Teléfono, este es muy popular en Puerto Rico después de Huracán Fiona y este es muy necesario si nosotros no tenemos energía para aplicar por recuperación y otros beneficios. Gracias.
So we'll be happy to entertain questions.
Mayor, our area has grown a lot since the last major hurricane that we've had. We have a lot of new Florida residents, a lot of new Orange County and Orlando residents. What advice would you have to those new residents who are encountering this for the very first time?
So to take this storm very seriously, to prepare a plan, prepare the provisions that you need, your food, your medicines, make sure that everybody in your family knows how to communicate with each other during the course of the storm, and then heed the advice that's being given out by the governmental officials and stay in touch.
Mayor, you noted the track has shifted in our direction quite a bit. What are you thinking right now? What are your concerns? Is it a water event, a wind event, a combination of the two?
I think it'll be, well, I'm listening to all the newscasters tell us what it's going to be, but it appears to me that it might yet shift a little bit more to the east, which would be better for us if we're on not the northeast side where they spawn the tornadoes, but I'm just going to do what you're doing is continue to monitor, but let's take this seriously. It's going to be, I saw percentages, there's, a small percentage that still could be a Cat 1 when it reaches us, a better percentage that will be a tropical storm, which is going to be 70 mile an hour winds, 70 or 80 mile an hour winds, so this is going to be a serious storm. And we haven't had one recently. I guess we went a couple seasons without one, so you know that there's a lot of trees that are going to lose limbs or come down since we haven't had a storm in a couple of years.
Kind of piggybacking off of that, just kind of talk about the greatest lessons or advancements the city of Orlando has made since the last natural disaster.
What we have learned through all the way back to Charlie, Francis, and Jean, which were my first three hurricanes and first hurricanes we've had in Orlando since Donna in 1960, but that communication and making sure that the public is informed about everything, what services are available, what to do in certain circumstances, when is OPD and OFD not going to be available because the winds are sustained over 40 miles an hour. So I would absolutely say that communication is the most important thing.
Mayor, a lot of people have characterized this as Charlie 2.0, but Charlie was a very quick storm, and this one is appearing to be one that could dump a lot more rain on us. In the last 17 years, has the city made the kind of improvements in neighborhoods that were prone to flooding to guard against what could happen?
We really don't have much flooding in the city of Orlando other than localized flooding. So when I was mentioning tree branches and stuff that clog up stormwater drains, create some local flooding. But what Public Works has already gone out and done is lowered the lake levels so that we have the ability to take additional stormwaters. And you're exactly right. Charlie was on us, and it was probably about an hour's worth of storm, but pretty high velocity winds, and we could have rain for 48 hours through the course of this storm. So there is going to be a lot of water.
What areas are of major concern for the city, of communities more vulnerable?
Can you ask that one more time?
What areas of the city are of major concern, that being of more vulnerable population or?
Sure. Our cities as a whole, and Chief Salazar mentioned that we do wellness checks for some of our elders and our shut-ins. So I, again, would encourage all of our citizens, if you have neighbors that you know could need some assistance, even in their storm preparation, why don't you go lend a hand to them if you can.
Another question, how many linemen are available to work immediately after the storm?
Luz?
We have secured over 210 resources in addition to our own resources.
And how many resources do you have, apart from the 210?
At OUC, our crews are close to 100 resources available. Yeah.
Hey, Luz, I think it's important to tell them that you've already got them here too, that they'll be here.
Yeah, we have crews arriving today already. We have other crews arriving tomorrow as well. And like I said, they include linemen and other resources to help us with restoration efforts. Yeah.
Una pregunta en español por acá para Noticias Telemundo 31, para el jefe de manejo de emergencia, Samuel Soto, y para el jefe de los bomberos, Charlie Salazar. Todavía a nivel local no se han emitido, afortunadamente, órdenes de evacuación, a diferencia de otras zonas que podrían recibir un impacto directo como el área de la Bahía de Tampa. Sin embargo, ¿qué llamado le hace a las personas que residan en zonas vulnerables a inundaciones o de alguna forma en casas vulnerables como los que residen en casas móviles?
Bueno, en la área local, la área de Orlando, la área central de la Florida, les recargamos personas que vivan en casas móviles, que se muevan de esa casa móvil y se vayan a un albergue, se vayan con un familiar, se vayan a un sitio mucho más seguro. En cuanto a inundación, conozca dónde usted vive, si hay problema de inundación, para que tome acción. Esta tormenta va a traer mucha lluvia y es una preocupación que nuestro compañero de obra pública tiene. Los niveles de los lagos en la ciudad de Orlando están más bajos ahora, pero con la cantidad de lluvia tenemos el potencial de inundación. Y hay que recordar que este sistema se va a mover hacia el norte. La lluvia del norte eventualmente va a bajar de nuevo para la área central de la Florida. Por lo tanto, hay muchas áreas dentro de la central de la Florida donde vamos a tener problemas de inundación. Dentro de la ciudad de Orlando, la preocupación de nosotros es inundación localizada, o lo que le llamamos inundación de calle, cuando tenemos obstrucción en el flujo de agua en las calles por escombros o árboles o ganchos, y esa agua se estanca en la carretera y usted tiene inundación en las calles. Pero de inundación general grande, no tenemos ese issue grande dentro de la ciudad de Orlando. Afuera de la ciudad sí, pero adentro de la ciudad todavía no hemos tenido ese problema. Y Charlie, sir. ¿Puedes repetir la pregunta, por favor?
Muchas gracias. Entendí una parte de tu pregunta. Personas que vienen y no tienen lugar donde quedarse, Orange County va a anunciar dónde están estos shelters y allí en el website de ellos puedes ir para mirar dónde están esos lugares. Gracias.
Jefe, la importancia de las personas que van a utilizar los generadores de electricidad, que lo coloquen afuera en áreas seguras, obviamente, para en estos momentos, la gente que quizás no sepa.
Generators, give the people that, if they have generators, if they are going to use it for the safety, if they don't really know from which places generators, where would they place them?
Se pueden poner afuera de casa donde no hay peligro, porque si lo ponen adentro de la casa, hay peligro adentro. Entonces, tiene que haber un lugar donde pasa aire, pero no adentro. Y luego también hay detectores de carbon monoxide que pueden poner adentro de la casa para estar seguro que están safe. Muchas gracias.
Everybody good? Okay, thank you very much.